every time you go into these places where they give you these throwaways and then you throw them away, you just have to, this kind of Kantian thing where think if everybody did that and it became a universal fact.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everybody's doing it. Like there's places where it's amazing how little garbage they produce.
Yeah.
Right, and Aboriginal people, I lived with Bedouin, spent a lot of time with Bedouin, and Aboriginal people, and it's a nice word because it means, in Latin it's the idea from the original people,
Mm-hmm.
ab origin, it's out of the first people, and the word Bedu, which is what they call themselves in Arabic, means the first people. And this is why in some traditions they call them the first nations, the first peoples, that there's great things that come. I mean, I'm glad Shakespeare's in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Mutanabbi's in the world, Rumi. I think a lot of people, feel like the world would be less than it is without Bach or without, and some people without, Lady Gaga, there's whole slews of people that just get something out of the artist, So, but all of the things that we love about civilization, the question we have to ask ourselves now, is it all worth it?
Right.
In terms of what civilization is doing to us as a species? And I think that's a real question, because we have to somehow learn what Aboriginal peoples have known, how to live sustainably on the planet. And they have great things to teach us, but they're messed up too. So it's not, because I know in firsthand, just living, they have their problems. They're grappling, a lot of Aboriginal peoples do not have a way of dealing with modernity when it's introduced. And an example of that, for people that know the work of Jerry Mander, not the political word, but the writer. He wrote a book called The 4 Arguments for the Elimination of Television. And in that book, one of the studies they did in Canada, they had the good fortune of being able to watch a Inuit Native American village as electricity was introduced. And they studied it to see what would happen. So they basically determined it took 5 years to destroy their traditional culture. Once television, 5 years. And I saw that firsthand in Mauritania, because I lived with Bedouin. I was in a town that had no electricity. Every night it was literally chanting. The whole village was chanting the Quran. It was like bees buzzing, and it was one of the most extraordinary things. And then you had the sky. See, I think one of the reasons why we've lost our spirituality is because of artificial light. And it's interesting we call it artificial light, because if you look up at the sky in the Sahara Desert, and I've been reduced to tears on many nights, just look, the heavens declare your glory.
I've been in the Sinai. I know. It's breathtaking.
It's breathtaking, and there's a reason why those guys fled to the desert, because if you want to be close to the heavens, that's as close as you're going to get. We don't see the stars anymore. Plato said God put the stars there to show us the order of the heavens, that we would desire to bring the order down into ourselves. So what happens when we don't see the heavens anymore? And I would really like to see a city, you might think of this, Mayor Fisher might think of just having an hour, once a month, where all the lights in the city are turned off on a clear night, so that people can actually go out and see the heavens. Just see the heavens. It's amazing. Stars are amazing.